Hey, party people. How are you doing? How's everything? Jenny Satori Davis here, as you can see. And this is Jenny Satori Healing. Welcome, welcome. I have a special treat for you today, says the one who always says special. Like I said, everything to me is special. It's certainly about gratitude, but I think that this is going to be a lot of fun, especially for those of you who are interested in the runes. From time to time, I really do get people who are very, very interested and curious about the runes. And I have been using runes for a really long time. Um, and I guess I can give you a quick backstory. And I apologize for those of you who know me over the years. For a time, I was kind of known as the Runes Lady. You know, and who knows if somebody took over that name or not. I never officially put that, but it was pretty much me. There wasn't a lot of rune casters back in the day. Uh, Now I'm seeing a little bit more than I used to, and that's really neat, But I guess I can be a bit of a rune snob because sometimes I make it's like tasting a lemon, like I see people using it so haphazardly, I guess is the word or something, and I'm like, oh my God, please forgive them for disrespecting El Runzos. Like it wounds me just a tad, but I have to, in all things, we have to understand, where people are coming from, and they don't mean any ill will. It's they don't know any better, and I guess that's why someone like me would like to come into the picture and just gently suggest how we might use the runes in a very respectful way. You know, just a suggestion. Instead of chewing on them or something. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so quickly about me. When I was like 7 years old, I was up in my aunt's attic at, and I found a bag, and I thought that it was marbles, you know, and I opened it up, and it was these white little sort of two-dimensional things with symbols on them. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And all the movies that I saw in my 7-year-old lifetime, you know, oh my God, this is magic, is all I can think of. And you know what? True, rightly so, but not quite, not quite what, excuse me, you would think. So anyway, um, I went to the library and I looked up about the runes, and I got this little booklet that showed me, rough definitions about them and things like that. And I remember at night before going to bed, I was kind of, you know, using them for myself, to ask such pertinent questions such as, does this boy like me? You know? And boy, the runes are very intelligent. And they it's not about yes or no, although you can interpret them that way. It's more or less like why I love them so much is because they go really deep. Okay. they go on the level of, at least in my experience, right? Because we're all different when it comes to any kinds of readings. But for me, they're just much more deeper than I could ever go. And I'm not saying that to prop up runes and put myself down. I happen to be a pretty decent reader, but there's an energy that is is very obvious to me when working with runes. It is not, um, and it's not like other divination tools, because I believe it's because of the physicality of the runes. Now, runes can come in different forms. Uh, Most popular are the rune stones, but history basically, they started out as more most popularly they were carved from wood. You know, so you can have runes as wood, you can have them as stone, you get pebbles. You know, um, some people use pieces of paper, or they make rune cards, and oh, blah, blah, blah. There I go. I'm gonna 3, 2, 1 to freak out. No, um, I just happen to think that when we do something like that, now it's not really runes anymore. You know, and the energy to be had is kind of lost, because now it's sort of just a piece of paper. My opinion, and by all means, if you're just starting out and you cannot get your hands on a set of runes right away, fine, fiddle dee dee, right? But yeah, no. Yeah, no. Um, so yeah, going back to my little story. Oh my God. Ooh, like a technical difficulty there? Whoa. So, going back to my story very quickly, I fell in love with the runes right then and there, and I've never parted from them, and I've done a great amount of rune readings, and I had a lot of fun with one of my shamanic teachers, Master Tatankananda. And now we're talking about many years ago there, but he and I shared that. That was something we had in common. Um, and we read the runes together, and it was fantastic because, there's, he used to talk about energy streams when it came to runes, and that is the absolute truth of it, and why I love it and prefer it to other sort of oracles or whatever. Is there is this tremendous energy uh, that just comes about when we're doing a rune cast, and it's to jump on this energy stream and follow it, and the runes, the symbols themselves are like the trail of breadcrumbs, you know. Really amazing stuff. So, with all that being said, I hope I prefaced that a little, within reason. But in general, there are two kinds of um, rune sets. One is the elder, and the other is the younger, and that is the elder and the younger Futhark. Now, this originated long time ago, my friends. I mean, this is going back before 3 AD. Okay. And then that's only where records are. Okay. It could be, and it is most likely way before that, in fact, but thousands of years ago. This is the oldest form of divination, which is also really cool. But yeah, the elder and the younger Futhark. Now, the younger Futhark is not as common today. Okay, and the younger Futhark has less runes than the elder. And the younger Futhark was used later on in more common places. Okay, the elder Futhark consists of 24 runes, and if you're counting Odin's rune, which is a blank rune, then we're talking about 25. And the younger Futhark, they have 16 runes instead. And so the elder Futhark was basically it was based on the Germanic alphabet. And it was used, and if you've ever watched some history stuff, or even the show Vikings, which I happen to like a lot, they used the runes as note, writing notes. It was part of an alphabet. It was the alphabet, but it was also used in rituals and so on. And as a person who loves shamanism, I happen to love making talismans with the runic symbols, and much like they did back in the day, in the Viking days, But yeah, this is a very old form of divination, and it has Kitty's going crazy. It has a lot of history, and I'm always so proud to present it to people and have them enjoy it like I do. Okay, so let me move on and just tell you about a little bit about the runes themselves, the physical runes. People tend to carry these runes in those draw bags, which is awesome. But me in particular, I have my own rune box. These were gifted to me special, the box, and it was sort of prayed over and blessed. Not by a priest, but and set out in the moonlight and so on and so forth, ready to be the home of my beautiful rune set. Okay, now these are rose quartz. Hang on. Okay. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it just stunning? I just love them. So these are my rose quartz runes, and I actually have a piece of citrine that sits in with my runes. And it is a matter of preference, but these are crystals. The runes, when you buy rune stones, they are crystals, and this is why I talk about the energy stream, because there's an energy produced when we're working with runes. When I first get a new set of runes, I tone them to my energy. I've been doing this forever and ever. And but long before I knew about shamanic toning, that's for sure. But it was a way to get to know my runes. And I would put them in my pouch and in my pocket or wherever, and I would do a series of tones and singing. And my voice is kind of forcocked right now because of the allergies today. But this is how I did it. I would usually sit with the runes and go, yeah. And every once in a while, as I kept the runes on my person for the day, I would do that. And I could say I had pretty successful outcomes many times working with clients and runes, and it gives me a lot of joy because, again, like I said, it's kind of like a boxing thing. Where boom, the runes know how to get it, girl, get it, So when casting runes, you want to. These are suggestions, though, but you want to get a white cloth always, and that is because you want to protect the integrity of the energy. Energy, energy, energy. I cannot emphasize this more. It's so much about energy and not so much about just the meanings, but interestingly enough, the meanings of the runes are based on a runic poem. It's actually from a poem initially. Very cool stuff. Very cool. I'm telling you, the runes are like no other, and I think that they take a back seat to other things in some ways. They're not as widely accepted, and I think it's because they tend to be associated with witches and witchcraft, and it's like, oh my God, get over it, and also what's wrong with witches, I mean, God, give me a break, man. But yeah, so what I'm going to try to do is show you a little bit of the screen. It's going to be very interesting, guys. Thank you for working with me. I'm looking around on my screen because I'm going to attempt to share the screen so I can show you just a little bit of an outline of the cast of examples of casts. So you will pardon me if we don't get this right the first time, but we will, because I never tried it before. We're going to share el screeno. Are we ready? We're going to share. I have no idea if I am sharing right now. No, probably not. Not that. No, this. Okay, that's what I want to share. And then we'll zoom in, I think. You'll probably be able to see. So here we go. I'm sharing this. So what I'm going to do is zoom in on this sucker, if I can, so that you can read with me. All right. So hopefully you can see this. I think you can. On your left here, okay, first of all, you'll see at the top, we've got 3 runes, 1, 2, 3 in a row. This is the 3-rune cast. All right. And so we start from left and we finish on the right. Okay. And when we cast runes, there are 2 ways of doing them. I always shake the bag, and people used to laugh their butts off how it was like a shake and bake, you know what I'm saying? And I'd actually want the client or the caller or whatever to participate in the energy. So I tell me when to stop shaking the bag. And of course, some people made me go on and on because they enjoyed it or whatever. But it's important to keep the energy and use the energy properly. And having a person participate in that way is very cool. So anyway, you can either shake the bag and toss the runes out of the bag, or you can, well, I don't know if you could see me, but like even the box, okay? You would shake the box. Let me know when to stop. No. So stopping, okay, and then tossing it out, okay? Tossing it out. Or you shake, you stop, you don't look, you grab and toss. Grab and toss. And then it's on a white cloth, tossed. Some of them are in reverse. Oh, so, and that's more advanced things, and maybe down the road, I have had a couple of, even through the years, I've had people asking for rune classes, but I try not to be in the vein of a teacher. But I don't know. You can't deny what you are, and I think that as things go on and progress, it seems like I do have a bit of a teaching aspect. So anyway, we'll think about that. But this rune, there's a particular rune for me that keeps coming up, even right now during this casting. So. Very, very interesting. I am going to look into that further. But for now, we will focus on the 3-rune cast up here. And, okay, once we've cast it onto the paper, not the paper, the cloth, no paper. The first rune on the left, this is going to represent the past or the cause, okay? It's like you can't have an outcome without first a cause. Let's put it that way. So it's not so much about karma. It's so much about action and reaction. Action and reaction. So you've heard about people, they're talking about planting seeds. This is pretty much that, this is what seed did you plant to create what's going on. And then we move into the second rune, the present. Okay. This is like very self-explanatory, the current state, what's happening right now. And then we move into, of course, the outcome. Okay. And listen, the runes are not a fortune tell. I've said this many, many times on my radio shows before doing all these readings. I would say, number one, it's not a parlor trick, not for me. And it's not a fortune tell. It's more or less the energy reading as it sits at the moment. It's And I love this pun that I generally use. I've used it for years and years. Nothing is written in stone, even though it is literally in this instance. Nothing's written in stone. These are ideas and hints and essences of where did we start and where could we end up? Where are we right now? This is insight more than anything, and that's the truth. They go strong, but also with love, which I enjoy, because one thing that I don't like, I can be blunt. I could talk, very bluntly or whatever, but I am big on, when it comes to readings and so on, be compassionate, be kind. Doesn't mean, you don't have to omit bad news, okay? But you don't have to be a biatch. There's some people that just enjoy sitting up there talking about, oh, I got the tower and screw you, you know? Sorry, I can't get around it. I am just quite sarcastic, as you may have noticed, and whatever. I apologize, but not really. This is who I am, and there's so many other people out there to watch on YouTube that, hey, baby, if you don't like me, I'll see you another time. It's not in a mean way either. But anyway, the next one I want to show you is the three life casting, which isn't as popular. It's a rune cross. Okay, it's the cast is a cross cast, and you can see that right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, and what's interesting is it kind of explores, reincarnation and past lives, and you know, for people curious about why they are at where they are today. Some like to consider the idea that it's because of their past lives. Uh, so if you want to go that way, if people are interested in their past, present, and future lives, this is the life casting. It is shaped like a small cross, as you can see, but it's not the runic cross, which is another form of casting. This is the three life casting. It is noticeably shaped like a cross, but it's only 5, and it's specifically for past lives, present, and future lives. Very interesting, you know? And then so we move on to a very cool example, if I can get this going. And I hope you guys can see this. Jeez, after all that. This is the one that's closest to the tarot spreads. It's kind of gives more in depth. I happen to think the runes are very in depth. Even with one rune, you can just expand and expand, and that's the thing. Yes, it's only a symbol. Yes, if you have your book and you're looking up meanings, it's maybe 1 or 2 sentences. But the point is, even in tarot, listen, you have to use your intuition after which, these are just general ideas. And when you're holding your rune or runes, there's an energy to it. Follow it. Follow the energy. That is what this is about. It's about what's in your heart. What are you feeling? It's not just the book definition at all. That's not what it's about at all. So This is very general. I'm back, I think. Yeah. This is very general. It's a very quick overview, even though I've been on for 30 minutes, believe it or not. I mean, you know me. What can you do, right? Oh, Jenny, what am I going to do with you, Jenny? You can't seem to be quiet. I don't know. Well, I declare. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed the small portion here about the runes. Uh, I am thinking about maybe doing some live rune readings down the road. That would be lots and lots of fun. So stay tuned for that. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't leave anything out that I really wanted to talk about in in terms of the runes. That's why I'm like, you know, for me, being on the floopity flop here, the screen, the video, it's different for me, and it causes when I get nervous, which I'm not a nervous person, but when it comes to, I think I shared that in my last video, when it comes to being on the screen, or once in a while there's a person, oh, here we go. But this is about intuition, so bear with me before I go here. Uh, Aside from the public speaking thing, which you guys know, as I shared in my last video, I'm not a big fan of. It kind of freezes me up, stiffens me up a bit. But I'm learning, I'm healing, I'm getting used to it, But um, there's another thing that I thought of. There's a lot of people with anxiety, and they wonder where it comes from. It's not theirs. It's there. I mean, honestly, I feel we should always take responsibility for our emotions, whether it came from someone else or not. They're ours now. They're ours now. If they're affecting us now, we have to deal with them. Whoa. Yeah. Um, but anyway, I have often, and it took a long time for me to figure this out, but if I have a certain amount of anxiety, a lot of anxiety, and it's around a person, something's going on there, girl. Something's going on. And that's for you to determine. But for me, when I get this, I actually freeze up and I forget what to say, period. I cannot speak. And sometimes it's because the person is there having a paralyzed experience in an area of their life. I don't know, or just their energy doesn't vibe with my energy. It's like there's all different levels and things, but I know there's been a few times in my life where I've come across somebody and I just want to run away. And I freeze up I could be in mid sentence and then I go, huh? I don't know what I was saying. And it's because it's just so much of an energy that you can't ignore it. And yeah, there's ways of protecting yourself against that, but what I'm trying to get at is that sometimes our anxiety is a really good compass to interacting with people. And I'm telling you, throughout my life, 9 times out of 10, uh, when I had that level of anxiety, it was for a very good reason. This was a bzz, 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 open your eyes, Jenny. Something's going on here. Something's not true. Something's not right. Whatever it might be. And so it kind of ties into this because always, always, always follow your feelings, your intuition. This is not your brain making judgments, though, because we all see people and go duh, da 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 da, blah, blah. The brain can't. The brain can't help it. The brain is just like, look at that, look at that, look at that. You know, it's like it's really like a 2-year old, right? 2-year olds, there's no filter. They say anything. They just say what they see, and they'd be like, ha ha, she looks like a this. She looks like a Teletubby, you know? Um, and that's your brain too, but we go, and there's so many thoughts. We could push them aside, or we can ignore them and not blah, but it's there. So we don't want that in terms of feeling people. We want to judge, not judge, but view with our hearts. We want to read with our hearts only, and a good quick meditation or whatever before we embark on reading runes, especially because that's what we're talking about right now, is go into your heart, literally, physically, in your mind. Take a walk and go down into the heart, get into the door of your heart and sit there the entire time you're doing readings. And once in a while, check in there, look around and see all the pink or all the green, and understand that you're coming from your heart. You're not coming from your head, because that's not fair to the person you're reading. That is not a real reading. That is a reading based on what we see and what we hear and what we think. No bueno. Gabish? Okay. So thank you so much for humoring me and being with me today. I much enjoyed this. This is probably my favorite thing. So thank you so much. I will see you another time. And until then, many, 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 many bright blessings. Bye now.